everything about it. Because they were connected to it, they could talk to the people, they could do need assessment surveys, they could meet people, get their ideas, get their feedback, and develop a solution that actually addresses the real needs of that community from within it. And on another note, talking about global communities, a lot of these issues that we face today, they're not region specific. The odds are that there are so many more people around the world facing similar issues and similar challenges that could benefit from that same solution somewhere else. And the odds are that there are other people who are also working on solving something to address those issues. And if you can find the channel to connect with those people, you can all learn so much from them, share best practices, share experiences and expertise, and it'll benefit all of you. Second of all, as individuals, as we all know, we need communities. So if you have an idea, you need the people to empower and to support you when you're developing it. You need people to believe in you and in the impact that you want to create. You need your friends, you need your family, you need your schoolmates to be there for you. So when you are starting out, when you're developing it, you need, besides the super network that you have, ideally, you need people who can support you in tangible ways, who can give you business advice, who can give you financing tips, who will be there to share their experiences. You need other entrepreneurs, you need mentors, you need peers, you need customers. And finally, when you are successful, when you've made it, you're going to need people who are going to be there to support you and to celebrate the success that you've made, to celebrate the innovation that you've created. And you need people who are willing to boost and grow it further, to scale it up larger, to make the impact even bigger. You need investors, you need visionaries, you need collaborators, you need your team for all of that. And as we all know, our lives consist of different journeys, and it's never a good idea to make those journeys alone. And third of all, as the population of the planets, we know that the world is facing incredibly hard challenges on so many different fronts, and we all need to come together as a humanity to make this world a better place. And above all, we need to support those people who are taking the initiative, who are developing solutions, who are willing and able to do that. We need to be there for those people who are actually taking the step and acting on these issues. As we all know, it is not easy to do that. It takes a lot of knowledge. It takes a lot of bravery. It takes a lot of courage to do that. And in order for these innovations to be supported and celebrated and appreciated as they should be, the world needs to know about them. So we need platforms that highlight and showcase those solutions so that everybody will know about them, so the people working on similar issues can find each other, so that the mentors can find their mentees, so that the investors can find their next projects. So we need the platform that can link this one team, this one solution to the bigger community of like-minded people who are there to support you in any way you need. And at the World Summit Awards, we talk about network capital, but even we talk about friendship capital, because we believe that investing in those relationships and friendships is the best way to carry these innovations forward. So to you, I just want to say that please stay connected to your own community that can ground you and help you when you're looking for ideas, so you can be there for them as a person, but also as an innovator with a great idea. Connect with your peers, lean on them, and build those relationships, not because it might benefit you someday, but also because you need those connections with like-minded people who are going to be there to support you and who believe in you and who can boost your impact and your dreams further. And besides that community that you can create yourself, please look out for these channels, look out for these platforms of bigger networks of innovators and people who are working on the same issues, who are in the same business of leaving behind a better world, who can boost you. There are so many places, so look for those places that have people like you. Please do not take this journey alone. And the World Summit Awards was born out of this need to have a platform that can highlight innovations and the innovators behind these solutions, so that the world can know about them and so that they can have access to this network of experts and peers and mentors and investors. And our 2 calls are open right now. So when you can go to the WSA global.org website, you can read more about the criteria and the rules of the award. So if you have an idea, if you're developing something, or if you know about something, please go there and apply. Our national expert, Emmanuel, is here with us, and he's an amazing reference person with everything that has to do with the general award. But for you young people, I especially want to say that we have a youth award called the WCA Young Innovators that's open for anybody under 26 years of age. So if you know someone, if you're developing a digital solution that is addressing one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or in other words, in layman's terms, improving societies, making the world a better place, please, you can go directly to the website and you can fill in the application today, and you can join this one community that believes in you and wants to support you. So I wish you all the success in the journeys that you are going to take. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Anna. We really appreciate your time. So I think this is very important for the members of this community. And that's the reason why we come together. That's the reason why we are a community. As I mentioned earlier, from the beginning, we started as a method of individual learning. We share learning resources and we leave each and every member to go on his own. But today we come together and organize even our learning to go by peer support, with full of peer support, and then a kind of cohort methodology. We are going to see that when we are going to present about the learning timeline. Thank you very much for your talk. We have learned a lot. And it's very important that you mentioned that the two calls are already open. So we have quite a number of colleagues, even in this call, who are developing some solution. I guess from here, they will have, maybe they may have other few questions to ask. As we are here before the end of the meeting, we are going to address them. So I guess the next on the agenda is a talk about importance of acquiring tech skills from Sulaiman Badamasi. He texted me that he's having an issue with his connectivity. I don't know if he was able to join because I have admitted quite a number of people. Sulaiman, are you on the call? Sulaiman Badamasi?
Yes, Al-Bashir, I'm back.
MashaAllah, nice to have you. Okay, so let me do a proper, I'm going to share my screen and do a proper introduction of Suleiman. So I guess you can see my screen now.
Yeah, but it's still showing that of Hannah.
All right, so here we have the boss now. He is my boss actually. Okay, his full name is Suleiman Badamasi and he's an information management expert. I personally call him the father of data. So Suleiman Badamasi is an experienced data analyst and data management expert with over 8 years of experience in international and national organizations, as well as the private sector. So Suleiman has a strong background in data analysis, interpretation, and visualization. He has worked across various sectors, such as healthcare, education, protection. Suleiman leads assessment at IMAP, and he is currently the training team lead at IMAP, which support humanitarian work in the northeast of the country. He has worked with prestigious organizations such as UNICEF, UNFAO, and the International Rescue Committee, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Suleiman Badamasi. Over to you, sir. Suleiman?
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear, sir.
Please, just a disclaimer, forget about everything Al-Bashir had to say. I'm just a student of information management and ICT. I'm still learning. Yeah, we are learning through these forums. Sometimes we are asked to say something and we learn along the way. We are asked to train people We learn from them. But with this, I think I'm given 5 minutes, so I will be very straight to the point. Acquiring ICT skills or digital skills, why it is important, right? I think it is very important for so many reasons, but I've jotted down a few things to mention just to encourage not only other people that are joining, but ourselves about acquiring tech skills. Today that jobs are becoming very scarce, one has to be one has to have a lot of competitive advantages to acquire jobs. Even though you are going for a business administration job, you are going for an accounting job, you need a digital skill. So therefore, when you are applying for a job, it increases market demand. It improves your profile. Whenever you compete with someone that has none or has less than you actually have in your CV. And I also want to use this opportunity to encourage our younger colleagues. You don't only have to add a lot of technological things on your CV. You have to learn them first. Learn things first, then you add them. And I also want to say there are so many things you see in the job openings that you do not have. Let me tell you the secret behind my motivation. Whenever I'm applying for a job, and I know that it is my area, but when I go to the job description, I find out that there are so many things, like 50% of what they are requiring, I do not have. This is a point of motivation. I will go find a way to learn those things, even if I'm not applying for that job. What helped me landed to my current job at IMAP? It was a position held by an expatriate, but today I'm occupying the position. It is because I applied with IMAP in 2016. I felt and I was told that I did not have a GIS skill. I saw it as a challenge, as a very good feedback. I learned GIS skill. I applied for IMAP job in 2020. I got it, and I rose to the highest position. Today, the position that I'm holding is the highest national position. I'm just saying this to motivate our brothers and sisters. And for your career advancement, even if you have a job, you need to advance. So tech skills can lead to career growth a lot. As technology evolves, roles that require tech expertise often offer higher salaries and better job security. Especially today that AI is being introduced, generative AIs are being used. If you are not tech savvy, you cannot even take the advantage of the generative AI. Then it increases productivity. Whatever you are doing, if you align it with technology, your productivity will definitely improve. For instance, if you are distributing food to 1,000 individuals, and every day you have to write their names, register them manually. When you employ the use of technology, you have better ways to track it, and it makes your data access, data management, analytics more efficient than ever. And there is also innovation and problem solving. When you have the tech skill, they will enable you to understand and leverage new tools and solutions, fostering innovation. They also enhance your ability to solve problems, applying technological solutions to complex issues. We came across so many things, but there is no time to cite many examples, but they are very practical. Again, there is digital literacy. Everything now is going online. Even if you are not a tech person, but you need digital literacy to be present now in the world.
Mm.
If not, you will only be present in your community. But with the digital literacy, you will be present in the world. Right now, we are in a meeting with people from different locations. You can land remote jobs. You do them while your employees are far away in other part of the world. You communicate, you sell yourself, you create social media profiles, you do marketing, you apply for job, you call for applications, you do everything. So you need digital literacy, of course. Also for entrepreneurial opportunities, for those interested in starting their own ventures, tech skills can be very crucial. Building websites, managing online marketing, or developing applications are examples of this. Sometimes, I'm sorry, I just want to give you an example. I have a newspaper here in Nigeria, and in this newspaper, even though I know how to develop sites, I know how to manage, I know how to do softwares, but since I told myself that I am fully into data analytics, data science, therefore I should be employing other people's services to be developing websites and managing them for me. But in the long run, after 2 years, we had a lot of business obstructions because other people are managing. I had to step in, I mean, doing a lot of things. Did 2 websites for our newspapers, put them on the right path. Then I step out and brought the tech guys to do it. So imagine if I did not have any idea to do this, and whoever has this idea, it will really help your entrepreneurial endeavors. And you have not, I mean, not even that. Uh, Even if you look at your personal empowerment, tech skills can empower you to tackle personal projects, from building a blog to automating household tasks. Recently, you can do a lot of things with IoT, Internet of Things. It also enhances your ability to understand and make informed decisions about technology in your life. So I don't want to say much. I know you, I mean, this is a community of highly knowledgeable personalities. I just want to say something to just remind ourselves. Uh, I think I'll have to stop here. I would be very happy to, if any of you guys feel like I should be of help, I'm very happy to support. And if any of you also think you can help me, I'm also very happy to be supported. Thank you very much. Feel free to reach out to me. Al Bashir has my contact. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, guys. I got him for you. We are not going to leave him at all. He just sent out a disclaimer, which he just overruled. He is there in data analytics. He come back to build applications. He is into QGIS. All those are things we are going to be holding him accountable for. This community needs you a lot. So when we are going to present our timeline, you will see where we will need the support of Suleiman Badamasi. Thank you very much, sir. His picture you saw when I presented my screen is while he is giving us training on humanitarian, I think, yeah, I've forgotten the title, but Data Foundation for Humanitarian, I think, assessment. So that is how that's my first training on data analysis, which is physical training. And I think that is the final one here in Northeast. After that round 40, they have never had any in-person training. They moved their training to online. So thank you very much. And our next speaker is also my boss from the World Summit Awards. Yes, just a reminder, and I used to introduce myself as World Summit Award ambassador to you. This is my national expert. his name is Emmanuel Amos. Dr. Emmanuel Amos is a renowned IT entrepreneur, software architect, and machine learning engineer. He is the CEO of Pragmos Software Limited, the president of Pragmos Foundation, and the founder of innovation-based AI Silicon Studios. Emmanuel has pioneered innovative solutions in Nigeria's capital market and served as the United Nations World Summit Awards eminent national expert for Nigeria. His expertise spans over 2 decades, driving digital transformation and fostering innovation ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, our awesome community members, let me introduce you, or let me hand you over to Dr. Emmanuel Amos. Over to you, sir.
Al-Bashir. Thank you for all the accolades. But then I'm not just more than that innovator that you know and you see. I think today is the business of talking to us on the importance of innovation, right?
Yeah.
Can I share my screen?
Sure, of course.
And before that, let me say kudos and thanks to Hannah Murray and the other speakers who will speak after me and those who have even started. Thank you so much for all you do, Hannah Murray. And I know you've done so much about World Summit. For this event was not supposed to be too much of speech, but then today I will just share the background of the World Summit by way of the fact that some of us, and someone close to you, may have even won the World Summit Award, prestigious award in the past. And we need to be aware that innovation is a concern of everyone. Okay, let me just try to share my screen.
Yes. So thank you, sir. And maybe we will need to be mindful of time. I'm seeing that we have 20 minutes left. Yes, you know, when you are dealing with that professor.
Don't, let me see.
Yes,
I see my screen to share. Let's see my screen to share. Looks my button isn't active. Okay, let me see. Okay. Screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, very clear. We can see it.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so let me just see if I could just run it before, so I don't waste much time on that. Right, so it will just be a brief background of what the World Summit Awards Nigeria is all about, what we've done, and the need for all of us here to rediscover ourselves, to really see ourselves as that next game changer for the country. It will no longer be that it will actually no longer be that we are waiting for government to do anything for us, but that we have a Nigerian, a proud one at that, because as an innovator, you are actually a very proud citizen. Proud citizen in the sense that you've gone to school, you had issues, we can understand, and we also can actually identify with the societal challenges, and that you are bothered, you're actually concerned, you're actually not that person that complains, this is that. It's actually your own intervention that you can actually use to make that local change. It's where people are here and what people really need, and these are things that have advanced many other economies. I'm sure we all hear, particularly from our government, because I hardly even see the citizens talk about digital economy. Digital economy stories, news has come more from the public sector. And you know what this means to some of the political minds. It is believed that our national budget will one day purchase a digital economy. And guess what? They are there on their own, and that is how politics run. But here you are as a local player. Like, on one hand, I'm first a software engineer, and I have actually carved a niche for myself, and I've supported that niche for decades, and that has been the capital markets, not only in Nigeria, across Africa. And I support these exchanges as I am here in Nigeria virtually, and I've done this for several years. And I think every other person can actually also venture to do this. If you do this, you become a much more proud and, do I say, ambitious and active citizen, rather than the one that complains about that country, Nigeria. The next you want to hear is that I want to Japa, where Japa means I want to relocate. It's of course today more important for someone to hear you that you want to relocate because, one, you want to do more and not a permanent base, because you have more to do in Nigeria, because Nigeria's opportunities hasn't even been exhausted yet. You can't even try that. And I'll give it up to Al-Bashir for what you've started, and for you to know that what you and your team are trying to engage from this part of the world, this part of the society, where Nigeria in itself has over 200 million citizens, close to the World Summit for advancing to much as they offered Nigeria, particularly in Africa. Kudos to World Summit, because before now, I have to be on the internet accessing every corner of this country looking for how information can get down to everyone who is innovative, and how information can now, a national selection committee to move these things into the national database, into the global database of the World Summit. So today, let me just say that the global World Summit is a large one, very beautiful one, and most of our winners of the past can say more to this. And in Nigeria, between myself and my dear friend, Professor Peter Brock, and every other team of the World Summit, here is Hannah Maris. So it's like the family is a big one. The platform is open for any player. You just get to innovate. And please be reminded, innovation is not about you being an IT undergraduate or graduate. Innovation is about you going back to your professional or career content and seeking for what contents of that profession can help the society. And you can have a breakthrough via an app, an e-solution that you can just put up there. And there are many Nigerians before now that has been doing one thing or the other. Now, if I want to show you why Africa has to wake up, Africa really has a lot of work to do. On a global scale, if you look at the participation of the rest of the world in this whole thing we call competition, innovation competition, an average of the last I got was that if you have a circle of rating, what we've seen is about Europe in itself has about 45%. And I'm sure Hannah Maris, he will be able to bear me witness here that this may be because their leadership has more time to pay attention to developing the ecosystem so that the innovative ecosystem can benefit and thrive. But here we don't find this in Africa. Let's talking about Nigeria. So it is not the same story you hear, so really don't paint that beautiful story the way you see, particularly for Europe. And that is perhaps the reason and the basis for the result we get on an annual basis. So if we have Europe doing like 45%, Asia doing like 14%, and Africa just coming with barely 6%, Latin America and Arab 11%, North America 11%, and perhaps the rest of the world about 1.9%. So this really goes to show you as a citizen here in Nigeria, there's a lot of work to be done. So our work here is just to see how well we can pass the information to all our corners. People who have innovation should please tender this innovation via certain means of submission, and the global jury be able to evaluate your product, and if you win, why not? And to be frank with you, in Africa, if you look at our records, Nigeria hasn't been doing so badly. All we are trying to achieve now is to sustain the tempo. What Bashir is doing right now is to ensure that we can sustain the tempo by ensuring that every year we have producers and products that we can actually present to the global stage that are competitive, so that we can actually be there almost every time. Why would you have a World WSA Winners Congress and Nigeria is missing? I think this is what we're trying to guide against. Like some past in the year, in fact, it was recorded, Nigeria came first on the total number of applications. But guess what? It is sometimes not about the applications, it is mostly about the quality of application. So the quality of content also becomes very important. Fine, we are good. We are getting the awareness, and this is appreciated. We have Nigeria first, Sri Lanka coming next, Pakistan next, Bangladesh, and lastly about India. But guess what? Let us increase that tempo. Let us see more products. And we are happy that some of this is already happening, and we want to see very highly valued products to present on the World Summit. Then the next is about leadership. Is our leadership available? Most government officials are so busy that they don't feel that you need to key into what we do unless you belong or tie yourself into their political agenda. And this will not even work for anyone. And that is why you won't see me carry any of this along. And I'll rather speak with Al-Bashir, to speak with this governor, speak for that governor, because I don't have that mind for most of them, because they want to use it and play the politics of the day, and things got to change. Right. This was a sitting governor sometime last 2 years or last year, when he had to get involved with what we do and had to put a word around the community to promote from Zamfara. People should innovate, and these are the importance of government leadership. From Lagos State, the governor, myself, the minister, the commissioner. So these engagements are total, that even leadership should pay attention to ensuring that they actually contribute to innovation, quality, and engagement in the local environment. At the time when even we have the former Minister for Interior, who was also himself a winner of the World Summit, here we were together in Sri Lanka for him to pick the award for his state, Osun State, when he was governor. So we also preach innovation at the point of that level of leadership, you know. So now the other records have to speak to those who have won, people who won recently, like you have Ware of Edo State, you have the Fawzud Mahmood of Zamfara, and of course the Lagos State's Oluwadamilola Shoyombo, who was in fact a champion at the last celebration in Chile and all that. So I think that's her there. And of course, if you look at the record, Nigeria has been winning from 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. And post the pandemic, we've also been very stable. And this is what we want to sustain. And who are they? In Nigeria, I can uniquely say that under every category, in terms of open government, or in terms of education, we have in terms of health and lifestyle, business and commerce, and so on, tourism, green energy, smart settlement, and inclusion and empowerment, there are human beings behind the innovation. And this is the only way, as a national expert, I'm happy that I can calibrate this country by way of innovators, fixing them in their various sectors, and they are rebuilding this economy. I'm rather not just support what they do. More is in leadership and so on and so forth. For now, we are incubating to innovate, and they are real, they are alive, doing different things at the time. But the network of the World Summit Awards in Nigeria is going places, and everybody's just got to sit up and do the best that he or she can do. And that is why recently we are also launching, if you follow our program of the last weekend, that we just launched a major platform to deliver artificial intelligence to as many undergraduates as possible across tertiary institutions and so on and so forth. So these are These are backgrounds of the fact that even as national experts, I've actually given to mentorship, given to training, given to promotions and tech scouting, and this is by way the only means I can get the genuine products to place on the UN World Summit Awards. And here we say we just need more. There are some people that need training. Please don't give people wrong trainings. The time is up and the time is over when people just waste money because they are getting funding from government. I don't get a dime from any guardian organization, private or government, and I do all I have to do. And all this I'm sharing are things I have done as a person, and I'm glad that I'm getting the output. If you get money, please do better things and be able to measure the yield so that we don't waste so much time. We can just keep talking more on that. And I think at the end of the day, the essence of all of this is that leadership is key, but not just wrong leadership involvements. And this is the importance that, oh, there's actually no part of people who are available in this country, but then I just make sure that we do not cross and play ourselves into the hands of political programs for propaganda, but then we should be delivering for the purpose of getting people to appreciate what you do in the real sense, and you being able to measure, even at the times when I wasn't even this big or this able to do this with the current MD of the DG of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Okonjo Iweala. She's actually seen all of this, and with so many of these calibers of leaders, that even the former president, and so much of this has been done as a selfless service to Nigeria, and not necessarily that it must be that I'm looking for their money. And one in place is that some young youth ambassadors today need to be cautious of the fact that please drive what you want to do to attain the best results in the country, and it's not about you seeking for funds. The more the funds sometimes can get you are getting into wrong directions, and we think we need to be guided by all of these, and that is why I've actually stayed put, and I'm having to push the things that we have to do in the manners that those who are active, like Al-Bashir here, will be willing and ready to do anything you want to do, and we can actually almost collaborate with you to do more in the north. And of course, this is the background that we feel that if you do not wake up to celebrate and do more for your country,
don't do that.
Nothing. If you cannot do more for your country, you will not be able to help this country wake up. And if you have any products, please, this website will take you to where you can submit your product. This website will show you where you can submit your product, whether you are outside the country, if you're in the diaspora, and so long as you're a Nigerian product, please go ahead and fill this project. If you have any concerns, please get across to Bashir or anybody, and we'll be able to tell you what it is. And the deadline for submission for this year will be the end of this new month, September 31st. So I think at this stage, as national expert for Nigeria, let me just say I thank you so much, Al-Bashir, and kudos again to Hannah for the good job that you are doing, and thank you for the involvement. At this point, let me just stop my sharing.
Thank you very much, sir. I told you, when you are dealing with a professor and you need time, you have to beg for it. Otherwise, we will learn a lot, so much. So, and thank you very much, sir. We have learned a lot, and we are so much motivated. I have been singing, I need to see innovation coming out, especially from Northeast. I want to have that medal that someone from my region has won an award from World Summit Awards. But thank you. Maybe with your motivation today, they will come out with something. That's my mentor anyway. We are going to be having him from time to time, and he's going to be sharing this vast knowledge of his with us. We have kept Anissa waiting so long. So let me go ahead and share my screen to introduce her so that she will give us her own talk before we. All right. So her name is Anissa Abeshia. If I did not pronounce this correctly, please pardon me. You are going to do that very well by yourself. But I know that you are a digital inclusion practitioner. You are an innovator. You are an innovation fellow and colleague to me, which is very important. And then I'll go ahead to tell you that Anissa is a researcher, digital inclusion expert, and policy professional with experience in humanitarian diplomacy. Anissa served as the senior digital inclusion project lead at International Rescue Committee, that's IRC in San Diego, California. She is an innovation fellow at UNHCR, now an innovation ambassador, and a policy digital equity and innovation fellow at Global Research Network, GRN. She sits on the board of the Africa Digital Inclusion Alliance working group and is a member of advisory board for the Chancellor's leadership program at the University of California, Riverside. There's a lot to say about Anissa, but this is all I can tell you for now because of time. Let me hand you over to Anissa. Anissa, over to you.
I thank you. I cannot finish this in 2 minutes. The fastest I've done this is in 15. So,
sorry?
What would you like me? What would you like me to do?
Yeah, you were supposed to present on what to know about AI, but as you can see, as you mentioned, we have a few minutes to go. So I don't know if you can tell us the importance of AI in today's world. That could be 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can round up because we wasted about 5 to 10 minutes even before we started. So I think this is something that can be achieved.
Well, let me condense it. So I work with the Global Research Network that is a think tank based in Canterbury, and our mission is to empower scholars and researchers in the global south to find solutions to problems that they're facing within their own community. And we're unique in the sense that we are a third wave post-colonial think tank, meaning that we are asking questions about how does decolonialism look in the real world? We have 4 think tanks, and we look at topics from animals and biodiversity to war, conflict, and global migration. And most of the world's problems, almost all of the world's problems, stem from the same issue: colonialism and the echoes of empire that have remained in policy. So what is that? How does that relate to AI? And I'll give you an example. When astronomers point their telescope out into the universe, they can pick up the signs of this ambient radiation. And it's what's left over from the Big Bang that created the universe. But we can't see it, we can't hear it, and we really can't see how it affects our day-to-day lives. But it is a world-creating event. Colonialism had the same impact on the world. It was a world-creating event. And when we look at our societies, how it's structured, we see these echoes of empire in the laws. It's not that the laws aren't working or the governments aren't working. They were designed not to work. Europe and the West has 500 years head start on us with all of the wealth that they accumulated from colonialism. So we cannot compare ourselves to them. It's not a fair comparison. We have to look at what we have and start from where we are at. AI is a similar world-creating event. And once again, Africa has been left out of the game. Why? Because of power dynamics. AI is about power dynamics. Who gets to be part of creating large language models? Right now, only large corporations and some governments have the capability to produce the large language models that are going to train AI. I have 3 master's degrees in multiple disciplines. I have worked in everything from Hollywood to humanitarian diplomacy. I decided to go back to school and learn about AI. I work in AI now. I have a job training large language models because I believe it's important for us to be involved in that field, to be training AI, to be active in that field. I come with no tech background at all. The main premise of this talk is that technology is not going to save us, and no one worldview has all the solutions. The worldview we're dealing with right now doesn't have the solutions at all. Extractive capitalism is coming to an end. And we see this with the inflation that's happening all over the Western world and developed countries. You have a part to worldview. We need everybody at the table, as Hannah had mentioned. Community is going to be the next superpower. Community in person. We can't allow technology and technology companies to continue to extract our power. Colonialism was born out of capitalism. We are seeing again the same issues, the same challenges. We can be innovative, but until we understand that that power dynamic is going to remain, we won't be able to move forward. There are opportunities to work in AI. There are free trainings from the University of Helsinki to give you a basic understanding of what AI is and how AI operates. There's multiple certifications that you can do on Coursera. So this is our next wave of colonialism. This is our next wave of how are we going to design our world? It is going to be a challenge, but it doesn't mean that you don't have the capability or the know-how. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about me. I'm Native American. I grew up in a place that was very similar to Africa. We didn't have a lot of resources and nobody expected anything from us. We were actively that we weren't going to accomplish anything. But I made it to Stanford because I believed I could. And there were multiple obstacles. I still face obstacles because I wear a headscarf and because of my age and because of my gender. We all face obstacles in life, but you can't allow them to dictate or determine who you're going to be, what you're going to do. And Suleiman and the last speaker rightly pointed out that it is our responsibility to find those resources. It may seem like you're behind, only because the West has 500 years of ahead, but you don't have to focus. Africa is rich in resources, rich in ideas, rich in people. This is where you need to build from, a place of abundance and not scarcity. You know, we are not Europe. We don't want to be Europe. We don't need to recreate what Europe was doing because what Europe did in Africa did not work. It is not working. It's not even working at home anymore. So when I created the Africa Digital Working Inclusion Group and then the Africa Digital Innovation Group and onboarded 9 scholars based in Africa working in digital inclusion, it was GRN's hope that we would be creating the data sets that would then influence policy, influence where grant money was going, saying that this is the data that is coming from these communities. So you all are subject matter experts in your field. How does that tie to AI? And I'll give you a quick example. I was training AI in how to use British English. Because if you interact with AI, with a generative AI, it could not translate things into British English. So there was a problem there. Also, there's lots of problems with how it perceives women and gender, et cetera, et cetera. It goes on and on and on. So you have something right now that AI companies want. And that's how you think. the way your indigenous languages function, the way that you perceive the world. And these are all important things to share. So I really encourage you to go out, seek that knowledge, participate. And it really is about participating. It's really about sharing your thoughts, your ideas, your passions. And from what I'm hearing, all of the presenters, that is what the encouragement is. Share. One of the most underutilized tool is our mouths. We get shy, we get embarrassed. Am I good enough? It's called imposter syndrome. Just do it. Suleiman said, he didn't have the skills. He has got the skills. So this is what I really see this group doing for each other, being that encouragement, being that place where you can go to get help when you don't think that you can solve problem X, Y, Z. And so AI, this is the new world order. Either we're going to be able to participate in it or be left behind. Like, as I mentioned, I have no training in coding, etc. I learned, and I'm old, but the resources are there if you want to use them.
Thank you very much.
I have a whole presentation that goes more into a technical stuff, but
Yeah, but this is already more than a 1-year course you have given to us. And believe me, you have just, shot at the right point because, as you mentioned, we have the tool and we have what AI makers need. That is our thinking, our languages, our traditional languages. We have someone in this call who is developing an AI tool he named, I think, Yakura AI. What it does is it translates, I think it's a language translator for everything into a dominant language of the people of Borno State, a state that has more than 6 million people right now. So the tool is under development, and those are some of the kind of things you highlighted which are needed for this large language model, because we don't have an API that translates Kanuri language. We don't have, the large language models is still hungry of data from our local African languages. So we have to provide them, and they need them. So thank you so much. And regarding the courses that are out there, including the one at University of Helsinki that you mentioned, and a lot from Coursera, those are the platforms we are going to be leveraging on this community. And just to tell you that today is just to introduce all of you, the guests, to the community members, but we are going to be having a lot of sessions where we are going to invite you individually to spend like 1 hour giving us a talk on AI and 1 hour giving us a talk on WSA and innovation. And then for Suleiman on data analytics, you are going to give us even several master classes for members of our community. We are not going to leave you just for today. So, but for today, I just to introduce you to the community members. So next, I think some members of the community may want to have asked questions, but I don't know how tight your schedules are. I want us to spare a few minutes to hear if they want to ask something from you. So the floor is for question and answers. The floor. All right, let me mute this guy. Yeah, and the Q&A is very important, but I also develop a curriculum and learning timeline I want to share with this is mainly for the participant to see how the roadmap is going to work. But I don't know if you take a glance, there are some places you may want to give us your input that I will share with you via your email to see how we plan to go about this learning. And then when we get your recommendations and input, we are going to update the timeline. So basically, this is it. And then as we are taking a glance at the presentation, we will entertain questions from colleagues. Okay, is this loading? Still loading? All right. So I guess please confirm if you can see my screen now.
Yes, Bashir, we can see your screen.
Yes, sir. It's
All
up.
right. All right. So actually, it's going to be at least a 5 months learning journey. That is from this month to January next year. And then some of the things we are going to be doing is that, first of all, we have introductory courses. This remember, we have 6 different, we are going with, sorry, we are starting with 6 different career paths. And depending on which one you choose, we are actually going to enroll into introductory courses this month, hopefully by next week. And these courses can come from Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, and the rest of learning platforms. These are going to be free for all of you. We are going to choose the best learning platform for each course because we have courses on coding, data analytics, digital marketing, social media marketing, graphics design, and the rest. So depending on the platform that will best work for you, we are going to share courses for you to enroll for free. This will take you somewhere around 4 weeks. That is, we are going to finish the introductory courses within September, and then by next month, October and November, we are going to dive into mid-level courses, courses that they are targeting audience who have mid-level experiences. These are going to give us practical experiences. They are going to include tutorials, physical events, and beside the physical events, the rest of the courses are coming from Udemy, LinkedIn, and Coursera as well. And then we will have a series of master classes. That is when we are going to be inviting some of these experts to walk us through a particular topic, a series of webinars. Those are things we are going to be doing with Anissa, Hannah, and their colleagues. They are going to link us with experts. And then expert sessions. You know, when we have experts like Suleiman on the field of data analytics, so we are going to be having session with him to learn about the field very well. And then around December and beyond, that one is going to be a certification phase. So whichever course you are taking on any platform, they are going to issue a certificate. But beside that, there are industry standard accredited certificates. Like for instance, those that are into data analytics, you can go for CompTIA data, is it plus data plus, or what do they call it? And then there are other platforms that offer such kind of certification. And then as a community, we'll give you your own certificate of participating in our cohort. And finally, we will make sure we link you up with mentors for coaching and further experiences. So basically, this is it. I'm going to share this with our guests so that they will give us their input. Basically, you cannot learn most of these skills in less than 6 months. That could be one concern that some of them will raise, I believe, or even some of you as members of the community. But we are going to leverage on tutorials and using AI to, you know, automate how to accomplish each of the tasks and methodologies to achieve our work on our respective fields. So for that, and as a result of that, I believe we are going to have the opportunity to achieve a fast learning pace, which will work to our advantage. And then we always remember, we are going to always remain members of the community. The learning will not stop, and all other opportunities will continue to be provided to us. as community members. So that is it about the timeline and the curriculum, because some of you have been asking in the platform, when are we starting? When are you going to start learning and what have you? I'm going to share this with you in the platform. Now, the platform is open for question and answer. Please, if you have a question, raise up your hand. We are going to unmute you and then you are going to ask your question. I can see Yahuza Tahir as the first person raising up his hand. Please unmute yourself and speak up, please. Yahuza Tahir, over to you. Yahuza, are you talking to a muted mic? I can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Hello, Mr. Al-Bashir.
All right, I can hear you.
Thank
Please go straight to the question. We don't have much time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. My question goes like this. I heard you saying much about how the program is going to take place, but I don't know whether there is any provision for making things like capstone project, a project in such a way that it will be created for the participants to practically learn what the tutors are going to teach them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have taken that as an input to our curriculum, but all those learning platforms also and the courses we are going to enroll you into, they have their own, quizzes, projects, and then finally, as a community, yeah, we are going to have even group projects and other quizzes and hackathons. Thank you very much. Kala Muhammad Bello, over to you. Kala, please unmute yourself and speak off. Do you want to ask a question? Oh, it could be a legacy hand.
Hello. Hello, good evening,
Yeah,
everyone.
we can hear you now. Go straight to the question. Thank you, Hala.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Kala Mohamed Bello, as Mr. Al-Bashir called. Mine is not actually a question, but a word of appreciation and reflecting back to some of the things the earlier speakers have taken about. So, Mr. Al-Bashir, thank you very much for organizing this event. We are very much grateful for this great work you have done. I want to also specifically say a very big thank you to Mrs. Hannah Mari for the motivation, the encouragement, and the word of advice. Indeed, we are very much grateful for your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much for your time. And I want to specifically reflect back to some of the things Suleiman Badamasi have taken about. Actually, I do web development, web design, and graphics design. So basically, what I do is if I try to apply for a position and I see that there are some of the skills they are looking for, I know, and some of the skills I don't know. So what I basically do is I will just ignore that that application, and that's how it goes and leave me. But from what Suleiman Badamasi have spoke now, actually I have been very much motivated. From now on, I think whenever I see that I want to apply for a specific position and there are other skills that I am not familiar in the advert for that specific position, I will have to reflect back and go and learn those skills that I am not familiar with. I think this is all I will have to say. I will not forget to mention the names of Emmanuel Moses and Anissa Abetia as well. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you all.
So thank you very much, Kala. I think you have done part of my work. That is the closing remark. No, I mean vote of thanks, and I'm happy that the vote of thanks is coming from a member of the community. I have Engineer Abdullahi. This is a familiar name. Please unmute unmute yourself and speak up, please. I think that will be the last question we'll entertain. We will address others in our community.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Al-Bashir, and our co-experts from across the world, should I say. I really appreciate and very warm on this session. My question goes this way. In the starting phase of this project of youth ideation, I could see the way the timeline, the timetable is being, or the curriculum being designed, which is quite all right. And I believe in the mix of the group, we have also some serious high-level experts. But I would like to link my discussion to Dr. Emmanuel, Professor Emmanuel, towards and how can we collectively open the doors or the channels for our youth to be part of this incubation process, so that I believe Al-Bashir has the idea and the knowledge and also the link. So I think within the subject of the curriculum, maybe in the next phase after January, mentorship and coaching should be also included in a way that we embrace and see how we can enhance their capacities and to see how we can be able to also be part of these global award-winning stations. Thank you very much. That's what I can see. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. I think the path that Al-Bashir Ishaq has actually laid is a very formidable one. And from the program he has actually shared, it makes it very easy to integrate with our national thinking. In fact, for you to know that the national thinking is not just a Nigerian affair, it's a continental project. And that was why over the weekend, this past weekend, it was actually the project was launched by the president of OCAM, the Observatory of Digital Communications at the United Nations. So this is just to let you know is that these concerns are not just issues about us as Nigerians, but it's almost a total African issue. So the concern is broad. And I'm happy to say that many other regional partners, volunteers hoping to work with me on this initiative are also very ready to give back. But then, like I put it, the mode by which I have seen the program from Al-Bashir goes a long way to easily and seamlessly integrate with the vision. And that being said, I see a situation whereby if you have to go do these online available certifications, like you will agree with me, many young people now believe if I log onto a portal, learn for an hour or two, they download a certificate, they become a certified and an expert. And many more of these youths are downloading this certification. But you see, from what they've put together, I can see them put together a program of coaching before the certification. And this is what I think Al-Bashir and I, in our past projects discussions, has gone to say that this is how well Nigerians, Africans can be helped. So it's not just like I heard about certification colonization. These are things that we should be able to reform the level of upskilling to give back to ourselves. That's why I don't like to use the word education, because education is too generic, it's too generalized for repeating what we've been doing for the past. So You see, the word upskilling is now more of the coaching of how you want to see a man that read pharmacy and make him more relevant in his pharmaceutical career than him leaving pharmacy and stepping out to say he's looking for a job in a bank. So these are the misplaced priorities and attention. And this is where I think the level of engagement, the way it's going, will be enough and good enough to accommodate how people can be assisted, whether for the regional programs or the national programs or the continental programs, so that we don't spend too much time That's just what I could just put together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We will keep connected and we have the community together. So I think before anything, please let's turn on